All right. Welcome to the EpicMan Podcast, the show about the wildest news in entertainment and culture. I'm Josiah, and with me, my two friends and co-host, Ben and Mike. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good.
I'm doing better than Ben.
Probably.
Debatable, but ready to talk about some stuff.
Well, we do have quite a bit of stuff to talk about, but it's pretty easy to be better than Ben on most days. So
what? Hold on, what?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not really a high
this
benchmark.
Blindsided me. I can't say that I expected this.
And even sometimes you're having a better day than you actually are.
Welcome to the plot twist of the century.
Sometimes the me that I wish to be is having a better day than I am currently.
Well, I mean, that's true. That's true.
Deep, philosophical. All right.
That
being said,
that's not deep. That's not. All right.
So today we have a few things to talk about. It was not a very eventful week, besides a few major things. But one of the big things that happened this week was obviously the announcement of the reveal of the Cold War zombies and stuff for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. And yeah, it was pretty awesome. I watched pretty much everything about it, and I'm not sure if you guys watched any of the videos about it or anything. But it was really, really awesome. And we can kind of go through some of the information about it and talk about it. I'm very hyped about it because I am a huge fan of zombies. And zombies has been kind of in a dry spell for the past few years, and hopefully this will be the glorious return of the mode. So what did you guys think about the reveal?
I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it. I ended up watching I think there was a live stream, then I watched it.
Yeah.
No, maybe there was a live stream. I don't remember.
There was,
I watched something after the fact.
Okay. Yeah.
But I think one of the coolest things that stuck out to me was the aspect of crossplay, that they're finally doing crossplay for zombies. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I think something they've done with with this Call of Duty for the first time, or with Modern Warfare for the first time, I should say. So that's really cool. And then that they're not sticking to the same characters per se, but they also didn't say that those characters won't have something to do with the story, because like they said, everything is canon, but that doesn't mean that
exactly
things stay dead, because that's kind of the focus or focal point of zombies. So I'm excited to see the new story. I think there's a lot of interesting stuff they've brought to the table with this one. I mean, there's a lot of new mechanics like the score streaks and stuff, which we've never seen in zombies before. I mean, that's going to be wild.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it looks really cool. I'm very excited to play it. I just can't wait till it comes out so we can get our hands on it.
Exactly. Mike, what are your thoughts about the
You ready for this hot take?
Oh boy, here we go.
I'm not excited.
What?
I know. So I watched the trailer and I was like, that's cool. I like zombies. I like the mode, but honestly, every year I feel like they announce hey, this zombies is going to be a different experience. This is going to be zombies like you've never seen it before. Or they'll be like, yeah, this is a return to form. We really we care about our zombie community and stuff. And then every year it feels like it's the same game. It's just they'll add a feature or two that feels like
same game reskinned.
Yeah, they reskin zombies again. And I'm like, okay, cool. And they're like, yeah, do you guys want bubble gum? And I'm like, I don't really want bubble gum. They're like, you're getting bubble gum. It's a new feature.
Oh, so you even have problems with Black Ops 3 zombies?
Yes.
Black Ops 3 zombies is some of the best zombies that's ever been made.
I agree.
But it's not because of the features and stuff they brought to the map, but when you really delve into the story and the core characters of the game, there's a lot of cool character development and story development in Black Ops 3. That was lacking a lot in Black Ops 4, just because I felt like they put everything on the back burner, and you didn't really care too much, and then it's just not great.
Think about the story, Mike. Think about the story.
What story? You mean the story where you have to find a random vial of zombie butt juice in a locked crate that you can only open if you get the right weapon from the Pack-a-Punch machine, and then they're like, by the way, Richtofen had a daughter and a son, and they both died by zombies. Isn't that sad? And everybody's like, wow, that's some deep story stuff. I would love a straight up no joke zombie Call of Duty game, like an actual like campaign with zombies and all of that, and then the game can like also have its multiplayer zombies. To me, I think that they should do a lot more with it. So I want to be excited, but at the same time, I'm just like, I feel like there's gonna be zombies, the same kind of zombies we've seen.
I understand where that point comes from. Just want to see a campaign or whatever that is, but that's not Call of Duty Zombies. It never has been.
The dumb thing about it is that they actually tried to do a Call of Duty Zombies campaign in Black Ops 3 with Nightmares, and it was trash. So the thing about zombies is that I think is so cool is that there is a lot of story and lore in zombies, but it's more so like I guess kind of like hidden under the gameplay a little bit. And so like it's more like if you are a story guy, there is a lot in each map as far as like Easter eggs and things that you can find that will enhance the story and stuff. Or if you're just more of a gameplay person, there is that option too. So it kind of depends on what you are looking for in zombies.
Yeah, I mean, to me, zombies has always been that gameplay, that core game style. That if you just want to play survival and fight against waves of the undead, it's the game for you. But if you do want to learn more about why the game is the way it is and about the characters and stuff, that's there for you to find. But it's not being forced. It's not being forced down your throat. It's not being pushed there for people who maybe don't care enough about the story. They just want to play, like shoot zombies.
As much as some people like having things forced down their throat, I'm just saying.
Right.
Ben.
I'm just
what? What are we insinuating here, Mike?
Nothing. I was just saying, Ben.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just Ben.
Yeah.
So you're gonna make another point, Ben? Do you remember what it was, or basically, yeah. So I don't know. I guess some of the things that they announced for this new zombies has me more excited than I have been for zombies in a while.
Agreed.
I like that one of the things that they tried to do in Black Ops, I loved Black Ops 3 zombies, so that's where Mike and I kind of disagree here. I thought that Black Ops 3 zombies brought the best zombies because they just added so much more that you could do with the gameplay and that and stuff. Even just like from the gobblegums and stuff, like there were so many different kinds of gobblegums that could really switch up your play style every time you played and all of that type of stuff.
It's true.
And I guess that's one of the things that I didn't like about Black Ops 4 zombies is that not only did they change drastically how you played zombies, like they completely just gutted the way that we have learned how to play zombies for so long and stuff. They tried to kind of start an entire new storyline that nobody gave a crap about. Nobody cared about that story or those characters or anything like that. So one of the things that I think is really good about Cold War zombies is that they are actually keeping the story in the ether universe of what they have created.
Canon.
Yeah. And so like Rick Toffin, Dempsey, Nikolai Takeo and stuff, like they are still canon. They are still part of that universe, but now they're starting like a new story. And one of the things that is actually, I don't know if you guys knew this, but if you saw like the trailer for Cold War Zombies in the opening like bit where it shows like that lady like walking up to the phone booth and stuff, that is actually Samantha Maxis.
Okay.
And
well, it's perceived to be her.
It is her. It is her.
Was it confirmed that it was her?
Because her name is Sam. When she puts in like when she like dials the phone number and stuff, do you know what it spells out? Maxis.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
And so there's like that going on, and they also play the Samantha Maxis theme music when she's walking up to the phone booth and stuff. So unless they're just being like the biggest trolls of all time, it's pretty much confirmed to be Samantha Maxis. And so that's really cool that they're actually bringing one of their classic characters into this new story in
what
a
if she's
completely fresh new way. What
if she's a playable character?
I don't think she's going to be a playable character. I think she's probably going to be kind of more like a
side character of some
kind
sort.
of like a Dr. Monty type of character where, she like affects the story, but she's not like a playable character.
Do you think it'll be operators that you can play as? Probably the
think
operators
so.
from the game.
I think so, yeah. Yeah. Which I don't know if I like that or not. I don't know if I like that you are just kind of like a random dude instead of like an actual character, I'm not sure how I feel about that yet. So we'll have to see.
I guess we'll see. I mean, how it
works
plays
in the
out.
game. Yeah.
I think we'll see. Oh yeah, I think one of my favorite things that we learned about this, so like new additions wise, is actually that you perks, that there's not a limit on perks, and you don't have to have like perkaholic gobble gum or something to get all the perks. You can just get all the perks.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to learn about that new perk. I think there's 1 or 2 new perks in the game, so I'm excited about that too. And the Jug's back.
It'll certainly be interesting. Just I want to see if they're actually going to do something new and different in a way that's like, this is fun zombies. Because like personally, I love zombies in World at War. That personally is one of my favorite zombie modes.
Yeah.
I just kind of, I don't know. There's something to be said about like just how simple everything is, and like it's like, hey, you have this, and then there's like a pack-a-punch machine, and like the goal is just to survive. Like that kind of stuff was fun. I had a ton of fun with Black Ops 2 zombies. Like one of my favorite maps was the I think that was Black Ops 2, the Mars map or whatever, where like you get the space monkeys
or moon.
Moon. Yeah, Moon.
Yeah, you might be either thinking of Moon or Shangri-La.
Maybe
Shangri-La's not space, I didn't think.
Yeah, it's perceived to be in space.
Okay. Or something.
It was never
the one with like the rocket
but...
and the like space monkeys and stuff like that. Like that was a lot of fun.
Maybe you are thinking of Moon. I don't know.
I didn't like the one where you had to go into like the one that had like zero gravity. That was like my least favorite.
Oh, that's Moon, yeah.
That's Moon.
I did not like that map. I was like, this is stupid. I don't like this. But or like the Old West zombies. That was like actually kind of a lot of fun. Like I think it would be fun to do kind of like an Assassin's Creed style thing where like you just set like different heroes and different times up against zombies with like the Call of Duty skin on it. You know, I don't know, that kind of stuff is fun.
I mean, that's what they kind of tried to do in Black Ops 4.
Yeah,
I like the Coliseum. I had a lot of fun with
9, and I didn't really like any of that.
But I barely played Black Ops 4.
Black Ops 4 Zombies 3 was terrible. It was bad. It was so bad.
I feel like that's kind of what they tried to do though, with like, especially with 9, is they tried to like put a weird skin on it in a different time period, and it was just kind of odd.
Which, props to them, I guess, for trying to do something completely new and stuff, but it didn't. Nobody cared about their new story. Or anything like that, and I don't know, like they just changed so many things about zombies that I think it really turned off people. Like they took away Jug, they basically changed the entire perk system completely. And they like their new kind of like gobblegum setup was just ass. It was so bad. It was terrible. So yeah,
I think that with this new one, like even with them bringing back Jug and stuff, I think they saw the criticisms, they heard the criticisms from Black Ops 4, because a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of the zombie community gave up on it after like the first couple weeks, and I think they've heard those criticisms, and they're kind of changing things for this new one, and that's why I'm hoping that it is really good, because I think that Treyarch does a pretty good job of listening to the fan community.
They do
for the most part. I think they're pretty good about that, better than all the other Call of Duty developers.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I'm excited to see what they do after what was Black Ops 4 with zombies. I think it's going to be really interesting.
And I do love that it is still taking place in the same universe. Like it's actually called the Dark Ether storyline, and I'm so excited about that, because I really hope that they kind of like what I'm hoping is that they will continue to I guess kind of expand some of their story elements that they had in Black Ops 3 that people loved so much, but at the same time kind of keeping a lot of their core gameplay and stuff like that. So
I don't want the old story to be a crutch though. I do want them to try to do something new, but it's just not what they did with Black Ops 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Black Ops 4 should have been a continuation and the finale of the Ether storyline, but they tried to do all this other new stuff in there, and it didn't work. Whereas this is not even a continuation of the Ether storyline; it's just in the same universe. Yeah. So they still have it there, but I don't want them to use it as a crutch either. I don't want to feel like
Well, one of the things that I found kind of interesting with like the trailers and stuff was a lot of the stuff that they kind of presented in the trailers reminded me kind of more of like World at War zombies in some ways. Like it felt a little bit more I guess, military based and a little bit more like scary, I guess, a little bit and stuff too.
I'm hoping that's what it's like. That'd be cool.
Like them like finding the bunker where there's like a bunch of zombies in there and stuff, and it was kind of like all shot with like the old film cameras and stuff, like the style of the trailer. So I thought that all of that was really interesting elements that made it feel different from Black Ops 3 Zombies. But the fact that it's at least still like part of the same universe, I think is really cool. So we actually have a list here of some of the new things that they're implementing in the new Zombies. So I'm just going to read off this list, and maybe this will kind of maybe see if we can convince Mike to be a little bit more excited about it. We'll see.
No.
So what they're bringing into Cold War Zombies, they're bringing crossplay, which is, I mean, Mike, you get to play with me now. You get to play zombies with me.
That part is exciting.
Isn't that
I
cool?
gotta admit it.
Isn't that cool?
I mean, it just is great because I don't have to listen to PlayStation users continue to talk crap on their console when we can all play together. So that's,
I mean, PlayStation does get early access for a lot of Call of Duty.
Yeah,
so
true.
Just saying.
True.
Just saying.
Well,
we'll probably get to try out the new maps before you guys do. Just saying, but that's fine. That's fine.
I'll just play all my
but
other
the good
Xbox
news is,
exclusives,
and I'm sure this will come up in the list you've got, is everything's going to be free.
Yeah.
So
Ben,
that's awesome.
Let Josiah read the list.
So crossplay, cross-gen.
Crossplay, cross-gen.
Cross progression,
Crossing
which is
the
awesome
swords.
because that means that like if you are ranking up guns in like multiplayer, then it transfers over to zombies and whatever else. So battle pass progression, you can actually level up your battle pass in zombies now, which is something that they didn't do in Black Ops 4, and that was a huge mistake. That was a huge mistake. So I hope that because of that, we're also going to be getting zombie content in the battle pass as well, which I think would be really cool.
That would be cool.
Upgradable perks, which mean they haven't really explained what that means yet, but it sounds like that there's going to be ways that you can actually upgrade your perks that you get in zombies, which would be interesting to see how that plays out. I'm not sure exactly how yet, but if it kind of like if they kind of implement some sort of system where it kind of feels like you're almost like kind of like an RPG game where your perks level up to the point where you become like super like a super soldier at the end or something, that'd be really cool to see.
That would be cool. It kind of reminds me of Modern Warfare 2. With like you'd have like lightweight and then you'd have like lightweight pro. That would be cool too. Even
that
just
would be
like
cool.
This up because dude, those were like game changers when you had like lightweight pro on or like or like a Juggernaut and like Juggernaut pro, like dude, like being able to take more hits or like deal more damage or whatever is that'd be really cool.
It'll be interesting to see how that works. Gunsmith loadouts, so basically you can actually like create, which I don't know if I like this yet or not, because they tried to do this in World War II Zombies and it was a little bit weird, but basically you get to bring in a pre-made loadout into the game right off the bat. There is a part of the charm, there's a charm to starting off with just the pistol, I think, that might be lost a little bit with that. So I'm not sure how I feel about that yet, but we'll see. Weapon rarities, field upgrades. So you get to bring field upgrades into zombies as well. Support weapons, which is obviously some of the score streaks and stuff. That'll be interesting to see how that plays out in the game. Optional exfil. Oh yeah, so basically
the exfil.
Yeah, that'll be interesting too. That we've never seen that in zombies before. So basically, if you want to end your game, but you don't want to end your game by dying, there is going to be like an exfil type system where you and your team can get out of there and stuff without having to just die. So
does it save your progress, or is it just mean, oh, we did good enough, let's get out of here?
I mean, it does save your progress and stuff.
That's kind of cool.
It doesn't like save your progress to where you can go back and keep playing.
Right.
You got to.
But
I think it saves like I don't know. I'm not sure the whole entire.
I think they said that there were going to be like special rewards if you did the exfil way of getting out, but they haven't really expounded on that yet. So
like maybe you'll get a special reward if you make it past a certain level, and then you exfil, and you make it past a certain level without dying or whatever. That'd be cool.
Gotcha.
That'd be cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, intel tracking, which I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember what that means or what they talked about.
I don't remember talking about that. I'm not sure.
and then free post-launch content. So that'll be awesome too. That'll be awesome.
So that's great. I'm glad Call of Duty's finally going into that with Modern Warfare and stuff.
Same.
Giving the content for free. The only thing you have to pay for is the battle pass, but that really just buys itself once you buy it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and
so
then obviously that, and then all of their microtransactions, which I don't have a problem with that if they are putting out free content, you know.
Right, and people spend so much money on the story, they don't need to charge for other content because they've got enough people who want to buy the cool skins and cool stuff for their guns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
well, I that's one thing I've actually really liked is I hated like all the other microtransactions, and I have friends that are like, oh, I kind of just miss like the loot crates and stuff, and I'm like, nah, like I like that. If I want like a weapon skin, I mean, like I have to either buy it or I could potentially earn it off of the battle pass,
or you can like there's some stuff you can grind for, I guess, like you can do challenges for different things as well.
Challenges and stuff like that. I mean, like some of the stuff that I got, just like some of the like trinkets and stuff I got on my weapons from like challenges, I've like been using since I started the game. Like I got like the Doge charm like for one of my guns. I wear it on all my guns all the time because I'm like, this is great. And like so
it's cool.
That part of it is awesome. I like that.
Yeah, exactly. I love it when they put in those kinds of like challenges that you can do in the game and stuff. So
I don't know if you guys played any of the games this summer for Modern Warfare, but they did a lot of that. Like if you completed a challenge and got 3 stars, 2 stars on it, you would get special decals or skins for your gun or whatever. So that was really cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
Love stuff like that.
Yeah, so I hope that they kind of do some of that type of stuff with zombies as well. Like one of the things that they tried to do in Black Ops 4, which they didn't do a very good job with, but I hope that they kind of like improve it in this one, is they tried to do kind of like a challenge thing where like there was like when you started a game, like they'd give you kind of like some challenges that you could try to do, and then you get some rewards, but the rewards were super lame and the challenges were super lame. Like get 100 headshots with zombies, and so it's like, oh, okay, well this is lame, but it is what it is, and the rewards were not that great either. But I think that if they kind of like improve that system a little bit, like in this game, try to max out on all the perks, or get like a certain number of different kinds of guns from the box, the mystery box and stuff. Like if they kind of expand on that a little bit, I think that could be a really fun element for zombies as well. So
yeah, absolutely. Is that the list of everything they're doing?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm so much more excited.
You sound super excited, man.
Look ecstatic.
I'm so excited.
I don't know if I've ever seen you so excited in my life.
So excited.
Yeah.
Let's see some of the other stuff that they say about zombies. Black Ops Cold War Zombies represents a new beginning with a fresh story and new ways to play. Set in the 1980s of the Cold War, it's an opportunity to elevate the entire zombies experience while paying homage to everything that made zombies so damn fun to begin with. You'll play as members of Requiem, a CIA-backed international response team led by Gregory Weaver. Under his guidance, your team is tasked with investigating and suppressing the unnatural phenomena occurring in the facility below, no matter the cost. All the classic zombies elements are here: round-based survival, fan favorite perks, the pack-a-punch machine, wall buys, the mystery box, and more. So yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm very excited for it, and we'll have to try to convince Mike to play it with us eventually and stuff too. But
I probably will. I mean, because it's you guys, but I don't know. I also have like this thing that I've always wanted and always thought it'd be great if they had a zombie mode that you could actually like win, like a war zone or like a, I don't know, that kind of a thing where it's like
with zombies.
Or something like where it's like, oh, like there's 100 rounds and every round gets obviously harder and harder, and maybe like on round 100 it's insane and it's super stupid and super difficult and like really hard, but like after that, like there's actually an end to it and like you actually get a win.
Did you ever do any of the Easter eggs in Black Ops 3?
No,
because that's what kind of like the main Easter eggs and like some of the Black Ops 3 maps were kind of like, it was kind of like that was your way of winning the game sort of and stuff.
It was completing the Easter egg, and that's where you got a lot of the story stuff as well.
Yeah,
through that Easter egg.
And the Easter eggs were a lot of fun. So
super in depth, super complicated.
I never had any friends that were good enough to do it, and
Okay.
and I wasn't going to try to do it by myself because
Yeah, well, you also had you never had a PlayStation, so you would have ever been able to play with us.
Yeah.
well, yeah, that'll never change. So
Yeah.
unfortunately for you guys,
It's fine.
I mean, you know, you win for losing sometimes.
Well, they are bringing back the main Easter eggs and stuff in this one as well, so we'll have to try to get you.
Oh yeah, we'll rock it. I mean,
That'd
I'll
be fun.
definitely play it with you guys now that it is crossplay. That's like the biggest thing. That's the reason I got Modern Warfare. I think just in general, crossplay encourages people. Like, I'd buy games that I never would have considered buying if it has crossplay just for that reason. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
And more and more game companies are creating their games to be crossplay now, so that's really
which
cool.
is
Like, even
a good thing.
I think we mentioned it last time. Is that like how No Man's Sky just got a crossplay update?
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is huge.
Apex
so
Legends is like crossplay. Yeah.
Very cool that they're
Oh
starting
yeah,
to do that more.
it's great. I mean, I love being able to play with PC players and PlayStation players.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Finally, and then there's a lot of games that like need to do that. Like Warframe needs to get a crossplay second.
I'm surprised they don't. To be entirely honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Me too. I don't know what's taking them so long on that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure, but yeah. So I think that's pretty much it for the Cold War zombies. I'm very excited for it, and we'll continue to look out for more information about that it's actually not that far away. It's only a little over a month away, so that's actually pretty crazy.
So
but
that is crazy.
When is it? November? What day?
12th or 13th or something.
It's a couple days before the PlayStation launch, then, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And Xbox launch. Hey, when does the new Xbox launch? Is it the 13th?
I
I feel like the new PlayStation
don't
launch is the
remember.
15th. I thought it was a couple days before.
Let's see here. November 10th.
For the Xbox Series X?
Yeah.
Okay, and then the PlayStation 4...
5.
Or sorry, PlayStation 5 is November 12th. So they're 2 days within each other. Okay, that's not bad.
Let's see. And then, Cold War comes out November 13th. So it's literally the day after.
Day after PlayStation.
Yep. So that's cool. That's cool.
I like
that is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been kind of. I think I am going to end up getting at least maybe like the digital version of the PlayStation 5. This year.
But you're getting the Xbox.
What's that?
You mean the Xbox?
No, he's getting the main Xbox. He's gonna buy a digital version of the PlayStation.
No,
because,
if I get
Xbox
both, I'll get the small Xbox, and then I'll get the digital PlayStation.
Well, you can you gotta
save money in any way you can.
You gotta save money. That's absolutely correct.
That's
but
right.
You should just buy the better console.
No, I just won't buy the Xbox if I want to save.
Well, that would be a mistake.
Because I am gonna have to end up getting 2 PlayStations for Taisha and stuff too. So
that's fair.
But yeah, I'm just gonna get one for now, and then I'm probably gonna wait till next year. Next year, I actually do want to get the disc version because it is nice having that feature. I might as well just get it just to have it. But yeah. So and then I am gonna get the Xbox as well. So come on. They're putting out some exclusives that I'm actually pretty excited for.
I mean, and if you can get even if you can get you can get the console, the small version of the console for $300. I mean, that's a steal.
Yeah,
Well, and that's not counting. Eventually, it's going to go on sale, or they're going to release, like a slim version of something. It's going to be probably just as cheap, if not cheaper.
They're gonna release a version of Xbox that's just gonna be like a cube, just like one.
It's just this big. They're like, just plug it into your TV.
It's called the X Cube.
The X Cube.
They're like, it does everything that all the Xboxes do. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys heard this or not. Big news.
Okay.
Some big news.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Jamie Foxx.
Oh yeah, returning.
Returning as Electro.
Yeah.
For Spider-Man 3.
Dude, that's actually right.
Yeah.
Dude, I found that so interesting.
I don't know why that's happening, but color me intrigued.
Excuse me.
Am thinking that they're trying to start some sort of Spider-Verse type of thing.
I hope
like a live action Spider-Verse.
I think so.
Sweet.
I'm sure Sony has something to do with it.
Yeah.
Because Sony's been trying to do this for so long.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty exciting. I also was like, so I had somebody was like, that's weird. Why would they do that? But to me, I think Spider-Verse. But I'm also thinking since it's in the MCU, they may be trying to do like a multiverse thing.
I hope
the
they
MCU.
are. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, look at Doctor Strange is the multiverse of madness.
Yeah.
So they're
And
doing something.
I think that drops before the Spider-Man 3 is coming out.
And
So-
obviously that you've got WandaVision as well, which deals with the multiverse.
Yep. So I'm
Oh
like,
my goodness.
this is going to be kind of interesting.
I'm so
especially if it's the
excited
same
actually for that.
Yeah. I was like, actually, that was a pretty great choice.
And if they do that, that actually opens up the opportunity to even like bring back like Hugh Jackman to play Wolverine and stuff like that as well.
I think they've been talking about stuff like that for a while though.
Like
haven't they?
that would be so awesome. That would be so awesome.
Yeah.
I would
It
love
would be
to see
pretty
them get Andrew Garfield and
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire back. as
Dude.
well.
That has
I would
always
love
been
that.
like the dream movie for me is to do a live action Spider-Verse movie with Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, and Tobey Maguire. That would be just
pretty great.
the greatest thing ever.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Ah.
Yeah.
I would also like to. I would really like to see Miles in live action. I kind of hope that they.
Yeah.
I kind of hope that they get him in live action as well.
Well,
Yeah.
what I think is probably going to end up happening if Sony does what they're doing, I wouldn't be surprised if Sony decided to take Miles and make them their Spider-Man, and then let Marvel keep using Tom Holland. Keep Peter Parker.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see that, especially because it sounds like Marvel is like pushing real hard to try to get Spider-Man from Sony.
Yeah.
And obviously they're going to keep trying to make the shared universe with that franchise for some reason, but I feel like Marvel is handling it probably better than Sony would.
Yeah.
At the present moment.
Yeah.
So,
I am very very excited to see them expand on their Spider-Verse series and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. I mean, the first one was amazing. It was so good.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a lot of potential of what they could do with that. It would be kind of cool. I don't know how they would do that, like to bring Miles into the live action universe as well and stuff.
They just need to cast him. I think that's
because his so in the first movie, they like Miles Morales' cousin or his uncle is in it. Like
in the first.
Oh
yeah,
he is, isn't he?
Yep,
That's
Childish
in the first
character.
Tom Holland Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's Miles.
That's Miles' uncle. Yeah. So
Okay.
Miles is he's canon. We just don't know. He just hasn't been cast, and they haven't put him in a movie yet. But what if they cast him and then put him in Spider-Man 3? That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty
I think
legit.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, just make it like a big thing. I mean, obviously, I keep hearing like just little rumors here and there though that like they're trying to I think it was put Captain Marvel into the next Spider-Man movie, because they want to like link those two, because Spider-Man is arguably their most popular character right now, and Captain Marvel is not their most popular character, and they kind of like are trying to like, what I've heard rumor wise anyways, that they're trying to link those two together so that they can almost like prop up Captain Marvel,
Yeah, I've been hearing that around too. Yeah.
I haven't heard that at all, but I don't think I'd have a problem with them doing it. As long as her character feels like she has a purpose in Spider-Man's story, I think that I wouldn't have a problem with it. But I don't know what the story is they'd be trying to tell with her in there. I don't know.
I'd like to have her character have a purpose, period.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, it kind of feels like this entire time they've been trying to force audiences to like Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that most people just don't.
Yeah.
So,
it's weird to me because had they introduced Captain Marvel like they did in Avengers Endgame, I would have liked that character way more. She was way less like abrasive, and it felt like she was way more like I like the idea that she showed up because of Nick Fury and all this stuff, and you kind of have like this weird backstory. And I would have much preferred it to be like Endgame, and that's how we introduce her, like they did with Black Panther. They have him show up in Civil War. Yeah, and then you have this mystery around the character. Instead, they were like, okay, here's like a little cameo thing, like mentioned, and then here's the movie, and it doesn't really have any kind of impact on the story at large, except now you have this character's backstory.
yeah.
Which I would have rather had seen the movie and then seen Endgame and then seen Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
I probably would have liked the character a lot more because it would have felt less contrived.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people, and I kind of feel this way a little bit too. A lot of people were kind of pissed that she came into Avengers Endgame and kind of stole the spotlight. Not really stole the spotlight, but stole some of the, I guess, some of the special moments that could have been for the core Avengers.
I didn't feel like she did in Endgame that much.
I mean, she was the one that took out Thanos' ship at the end.
I don't care about that.
I mean,
she's really the only person who could take out Thanos' ship, though. I think the only person that maybe could have done that is Thor, but
I mean, Thor took a dying star to the chest, and
it's true. Thor, let's be real, Thor is the real legend here.
Thor's great. Thor's amazing.
Best character in the MCU.
I even heard that they were planning on keeping Thor around for quite a while too and stuff, which
Chris Hemsworth is all
awesome.
for it. So if he's in the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie, sign me up.
He is not. That's at least that's what I've heard.
Oh, really?
Everybody, I follow James Gunn on like Instagram and stuff, and he constantly he'll do question and answers, and like people will spam his inbox with his Thor in
people are these people lie all the time.
Well, I know, but he's like I wrote the script for Guardians 3 before any of this happened and Thor was not in it. He goes, but
he also wrote it before any of this happened and Thor was not in it. But that doesn't mean that he won't rewrite the script either.
Yeah,
maybe. I'd be surprised if he did, to be honest. I feel like James Gunn is one of the few.
Yeah, but I feel like the way the Russo brothers set it up seemed like they had been working behind the scenes to set something up. I don't think they would have done it unless
I think if I remember correctly, James Gunn write the script before his whole controversial debacle?
Oh, yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, well, because he wrote the script.
That was a while ago.
Got fired. Yeah. And then got rehired.
Yeah.
And then
I mean, I would assume that some things probably would have changed since then. You know.
Because Endgame also hadn't come out since then, or Endgame hadn't come out yet either.
I don't think even Infinite Warfare or Infinity War came out
Infinite Warfare.
Since then. So yeah,
we'll see. I mean, I'm excited to see what they do with Thor.
Especially, me too. The thing that I find very interesting is how it feels kind of like, to me, they are, I don't like, it's so hard to tell exactly what direction they're trying to go in here, but Brie Larson is a controversial person, and because of that, like, I've even noticed, like, on her IMDb, she doesn't have any announced new movies coming out. I mean, she like did some movies in like 2019. She had like one movie in 2020, and now like literally there's nothing on IMDb except for Captain Marvel 2. So I don't know. I don't know if they're like trying to. I just don't know where they're trying to go with her, because
I think she's also lobbying really hard to be in Star Wars too. So there's a lot of like, I don't know. It's all Disney. Disney owns both companies, but I'm not sure exactly what they're doing with her, but I know she really wants to be in Star Wars. I do know that.
Well, it just so happens that when they announced the New Republic, like, was going to be their new like time stamp for Star Wars, like one of the main characters is a blonde woman who like is a strong female Jedi according to Disney's Marvel or the writing team.
I'm very excited about those, but
I wouldn't be surprised to see that. See, I want to be excited, but like, to me it feels really similar to the way that like Star Trek is sometimes handled. Like, let's go back in the past so that way we can rely on nostalgia to like prop up like some of these new story ideas, instead of like, let's move on to the future and see what the future holds. Because like,
but I don't like the future stuff.
See, I would love to see like a new story that doesn't like have to fit into the canon of like the previous stories.
That's exactly what this story is, Mike.
No, the New Republic is not. The New Republic is nothing.
It has literally nothing to do with the old canon.
Except they already announced that Yoda was going to be in it because he's alive during that
Yoda
time.
Is alive during the period, but they never once said Yoda's going to be a character.
They mentioned it like, oh yeah, Yoda's alive during that time.
Yeah, Yoda's alive.
They're absolutely bringing Yoda back. They absolutely will do that. There's no way they're going to do that.
If Yoda would be the only character they could connect somewhat with, but I mean, if they connect with anybody, it's going to be Old Republic characters, not anything new.
But that's the thing. Then why not use the Old Republic? It's a bankable franchise.
I've asked that too, but apparently they're not going to do that.
Or not the New Republic, the High Republic. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems
The
like
New
just
Republic
trash
is-
at Star Wars. Let's just be honest.
The New Republic is the new stuff. That's
it's the High Republic. Yeah,
Yeah.
my bad. But yeah, so like I don't know. It's one of those things. I thought the casting of Rosario Dawson as like Ahsoka Tano actually worked. I was like actually super excited about that. But like I don't know. There's been a lot of people that have campaigned to be in Star Wars that like Disney has just been like no, and I'm like that was like literally like money left on the table. And
I don't think that Brie Larson's actually going to be in Star Wars because she's such a controversial figure. I don't think that they're going to put her in Star Wars.
I would be surprised if she was, but I also wouldn't be surprised if she was. Like I'd be surprised if her campaign to be in their work.
I think if they end up making a show or a movie, they're going to cast a lot of unnamed or unknown talent.
Yeah,
I think
that's
I
hope so.
idea.
I think that's their best bet. I think honestly, it just cast nobody we know. Literally, just have no one we know in those movies, because then you're really distancing yourself. You have new characters, new faces that we don't know, and there's nobody old to rely on. Like it's not with the new trilogy, like how they relied on all the old characters to bring nostalgia factor there. If they if they make these new movies with new faces and no old characters, then it's just going to be new people we can fall in love with and new characters we can fall in love with. Unlike, having to rely, the old characters were such a crutch in the new trilogy and in so many ways, I think.
I don't like how you're talking about Luke. My God.
I love Luke is my favorite Star Wars character. I love Luke, but I still think that bringing the old characters in, or at least the way they were used, maybe felt like
I
a crutch.
absolutely, I 100% agree.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
I want to be excited about it, but yeah, I don't
We'll see.
dislike Brie Larson as an actress. I think she's talented.
Good. Yeah,
but I just I feel like, we got to see like some really great range. Like, I mean, the Marvel movies are what they are, but like we actually saw like range and acting from a lot of different characters in like the Guardians of the Galaxy. We actually got to see some like phenomenal acting from like Robert Downey Jr. and from Chris Evans. I mean, we've got to see like some of these guys at their best, and I'm like, I've seen Brie Larson do some really great scenes and like act really well, and she did not have that at all in Captain Marvel. Like it did not lend itself at all to like a deep emotional like story. It was like, here's this thing that we did on this time, and then it connects to the rest. Isn't that cool? And you're like, I feel like you guys like, then they're like, oh, and Nick Fury's in it. Isn't that cool? And you're like, yeah, I mean, but like, what's the point? So
hey, I didn't hate Captain Marvel like a lot of other people did, but I think that her Brie Larson's portrayal of the character just felt kind of wooden, I guess, was the way it came across to me. And I was disappointed because I know she's done better work than that. Like
way better work.
I know she's done better work than that. So I know she's a very capable actress. And it might have been the script even. I don't know if it was the script, if it was the acting, if it was a combination of both. But it didn't sell me the same way that some other people have. So I
think there's this problem that's kind of in Hollywood right now where they try to do strong female characters, but when they do strong female characters, the strong female characters don't have any depth to them at all. They tried to make these female characters a little bit too masculine, I guess, in a way. You know what I mean? And they just don't really add any depth to them. They're just like, okay, this female character can, beat the crap out of all these aliens and stuff. And that's kind of like what they tried to rely on to connect them to audiences and stuff, instead of trying to delve into an emotional connection with them and stuff. So,
I because I didn't hate Captain Marvel. I didn't watch it and go like, oh my God, I hate this movie.
It wasn't the worst thing ever. No,
I just watched it and I was like, I got done and I was like, meh, it was like a solid like C. C plus or something. And I think the thing that bothered me so much about it was that like I would give Infinity War like an A. There was a lot of really great acting. There's some really great moments. It was like Josh Brolin acted his ass off as Thanos. Like there was some really great stuff. Yeah, and like it was a solid like A plus. Like this movie was actually really good, and I think caught a lot of people off guard with how actually good it was, because it was like not just a good MCU movie, but it was actually a good movie. And then you have Captain Marvel, which is like okay, and we're like, Disney, we've already seen you do better than this. So like, why are you giving us something that isn't up to that standard? I mean, like even Black Panther is not a perfect movie. like there were, the rhinos and the CGI was god awful in a lot of parts, and even the last fight, the CGI like suits was terrible.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like
Didn't look great. Yeah.
no, but there were some like legitimately great moments in that
Yeah,
movie.
that's true.
And like, there was some really great acting from everybody in that movie.
Yep.
And so there wasn't like this is Disney, like just throwing this out there. Like it was like, it felt like it was a movie that had something to say, something to do.
Yeah.
It did. Well, it did. It was a good. I mean, it was a very good movie. But I feel like they, with Captain Marvel, the more I've watched it, the more I actually enjoyed it after I watched it multiple times. But it still just doesn't. It still doesn't match up with a lot of the solo efforts that they've had in the past. So like Iron Man and Captain America.
Yeah.
Where I think those stories were just stronger, and it might have just been the storytelling in general felt stronger. And I don't know if it was the people who are behind it, like writing it. I'm not sure who wrote Captain Marvel. I really don't know.
I believe it was the same people that directed it. I think.
Yeah, it was. It was like a husband-wife team.
Was it a husband-wife team? Okay.
Yeah. And they were they were new. I mean, they have like 3 credits to
and there's been husband and wife teams that have done a great job. Frozen and Frozen 2, but with things like this, it didn't work as well, and it could have been inexperience in writing. I don't know. It could have been just inexperience with the character themselves. I don't know. But it's
from the very beginning, like the very first things I remember them talking about when it came to the movie and stuff too was how it wasn't about the story and stuff either. It was about like some of these more, I guess, agenda driven things than story driven things too. So that probably didn't help either. But
even a better example of something where you can still have somewhat of, I guess you could say, an agenda driven story or a strong female character, whatever you say. Wonder Woman did a 10 times better job of that.
Yeah.
Than Captain Marvel did. And it was still it was the same type of themes that they're trying to get across, but it was done well and it was written well. And that's what makes it so much different, is that the execution was there, whereas the execution in Captain Marvel was not there. And I also feel like with Brie Larson saying some of the things she has said in the past and getting a little bit of a negative eye from both media, fans, you name it, didn't help a lot either.
Yeah.
So that
Wonder Woman is like 1,000 times a way better example of how to handle a strong female character in that type of movie than Captain Marvel was.
Superhero movie, for sure.
Well, like I'm looking at the writing credits here for like Captain Marvel. They had some heavy hitters on here, like Geneva Robertson Dworet, I think that's how you say her name, but she wrote like Tomb Raider, and then she wrote Captain Marvel. But she's actually writing the 3rd Sherlock Holmes movie. And then she's also writing a screenplay for Artemis, and then a screenplay for a new Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Interesting.
But when you look at the story itself, not the screenplay
like
was
story credits.
Yeah, the story credits. Yeah. Nicole Perlman, who co-wrote Guardians of the Galaxy and Detective Pikachu, and then Megan LaFarve, I think that's how you say her name.
Yeah.
Anyways, and she was involved, and she helped write Inside Out. She wrote, she was assistant on like writing The Good Dinosaur, which wasn't great. Onward, you have people that actually
decent
can
credits
write.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like maybe they just misstepped by hiring the directors. It was just an uninspired movie. I feel like one of the things, like with Black Panther, there was like a scene breakdown that Ryan Coogler did, and listening to him like talk about all of the set design and the costume design and how all of that lends itself to like more of the story, to me is like an inspired direction. And then when you watch them break down a scene in their movie, they were like, yeah, like these extras were really great, and you're like, that's cool, like that's good that you got good extras, but like what were you trying to do here, like what story are you trying to tell with this, So
Ryan Coogler is excellent though.
Yeah.
You've seen his other work. He's very, very good.
Dude's a boss. Yeah. Absolutely. So speaking of Marvel stuff, Black Widow and all of their movies delayed till 2021 and more.
Yeah.
Everything's delayed.
Everything's delayed. And I guess in a way, like, it's frustrating for fans, I think, but it makes sense because in reality, a lot of people probably aren't going to feel comfortable going to the movie theater until next year. That's just the unfortunate circumstance is people aren't going to feel comfortable. Movie theaters aren't going to be able to have full capacity. And if they try to release their movies now, they're going to lose so much money because they're not gonna have the same revenue as they would
No,
Yeah.
normally. So it makes
Yeah.
it makes sense. It's still frustrating, but
sense.
it makes sense.
Yeah,
Well,
and
like, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I mean, at this point, we're almost at the end of the year anyway. We might as well just push everything into next year and stuff. I don't
We've
think
already
that,
lost all the good movies this year, so we might as well just find them elsewhere.
I know that like the year will hopefully end with Wonder Woman dropping.
No, hopefully ends with Dune dropping. Nobody
Well,
cares.
Dune is gonna happen either way. Yeah.
Dune better happen.
Come on,
no,
man.
there's rumors Dune's gonna get moved to next year.
I would not be
I really
surprised at
hope
all.
not.
I would not
I
be
mean, like,
surprised.
I
what I've
need
heard-
Dune in my life.
Same.
Like Tenet, when all the theaters open back up, like Tenet's going to be one of the first movies there. Like they're just going to keep it going because, I mean, they made like 20 million on it, like with all of the major cities being closed down and half of the states not even having access to theaters. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if when theaters open back up again, people don't go rushing to go watch Tenet and watch that movie like blow up and make a ton of money because it's the only movie in theaters right now.
Yeah.
We'll
or
see.
the only movie worth seeing. So yeah, Dune.
Maybe.
I really hope that Dune comes out this year. I hope Tenet does well enough once theaters all start opening back up that we see like Dune drop this year because I really want to see that movie.
I really want to. I mean, that's obviously like my most anticipated movie of this entire year.
Dune is probably one of my most anticipated movies ever.
But
oh yeah,
I think that the studio might be a little bit concerned because Denis movies never really do that well in the box office in the first place.
That's true.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they move it to next year as kind of like a factor as well.
I'm just really hoping that this movie makes Denis a household name.
I really hope so.
I really hope
so.
This movie has there's a lot of cultural significance to this movie. There's a lot of just like nostalgia surrounding this movie. There's tons of people who are huge fans of Dune. I really hope they show up to watch the movie. That's all I ask is fans of the source material to show up and watch the movie and support it because we need Denis' name out there. And also he's trying to make a sequel because he wants to actually do justice to the story. So that's a big
that's
deal.
the thing. Yeah, you kind of almost have to with that. Well, like
it's a huge book.
It's the
how many I'm curious how many views the trailer got on YouTube.
I think it's like 26 million now or something like that.
Yeah. It's not that bad.
That's not bad.
I mean, that's less than like a Marvel movie.
It's at 26 million. Yep, exactly right now. But that's also counting. You have all the other places that show the trailer on their websites.
Yeah.
And so people go to see those first. I mean, so all in all,
I'm seeing 25 million on Warner Brothers.
It actually has done pretty good as far as views go comparing it to some of their other it did better than the final Tenet trailer, the Wonder Woman main trailer. Although those aren't really the first trailers.
It did better than the Batman trailer.
Yeah,
Batman trailer only has 23 million.
I'm curious. I wonder how many views the first Wonder Woman 1984 trailer got here.
So I was just looking just to get an idea of Denis' other movies here, and let's see here. So Blade Runner 2049, the first trailer has 31 million, and that's a pretty well known product, but that was 3 years ago. The second trailer only had 14 million views. If you look at Arrival, that trailer had only 21 million views. So that's and that was another thing that's 21 million views as of a movie or a trailer that released 4 years ago.
Yeah,
so it's probably gotten some of those views.
Yeah,
recently or in the
it
last
actually Dune is actually being pretty competitive in the views right now compared to like the Batman, Wonder Woman 1984. So that's actually a really good sign. That is actually really good. So
I'm looking at some of his stuff, like his last few movies, like Prisoners did extremely well in the box office.
For the type of movie, for a small movie.
Yeah. It made 122 million on a production budget of 46.
Right.
Sicario made good money when it came out, so that was a huge success.
Yeah. Blade Runner 2049 was an absolute flop though, because that movie had a huge budget. It was an incredible movie, but nobody saw it because just people
Arrival made money, but
a lot of Denis movies have been fairly like low budget, I guess, in the sense, except for like Blade Runner 2049. So
and his two most recent projects, Blade Runner and Dune, have been the most financially expensive movies.
Yeah.
So
I think Dune will do a lot better than Blade Runner 2049, but
I think so too.
We'll see.
I think I don't only think
I don't think it's
gonna
Denis. I don't think people aren't going to see it because of Denis or anything. I think it's just because of
I don't think people truly know who Denis is.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because even like a lot of people that I know that like love movies and stuff don't know, like when I mention his name, and I'm like, this is like, to me personally, one of the best like directors working today. Like
directors and writers. I mean, he's written, co-written most of his movies.
Yeah, he's written. Yeah, he's been a writer on all of his movies. Now, the one thing I'm excited about is Dune is the first movie that he's written, directed, and produced.
Yep.
So he definitely had his hands in all of it, and I feel like, you know, other than unfortunately like the beer bug problem, like if that part of it can be solved, or like theaters open back up and people are actually going back to see theater movies and stuff, his movie Dune like kind of stands and falls based on his like all of his hand like in it. So that would be kind of interesting. It's like, you know, they're going to try to market the crap out of this movie, and Dune's a huge franchise, you know, which is always way easier and way more bankable than like, because the thing is like Blade Runner didn't even make money when it first came out, and then even though it's a popular franchise, it's still considered like a cult classic.
Well, the reason, Blade Runner is actually panned pretty much universally by critics. Critics hated the movie. Nobody liked the movie, and then over the years it started to get a following. People realized that the movie's actually kind of genius in a lot of ways, and so it became that classic there. But it's not the same as Dune, where there was the novel written. There's that famous movie from the 80s or something. 80s, I can't remember. Is it the 80s?
Yeah.
That nobody really liked, but it's a classic to a lot of people, and a lot of people grew up watching that. But then, like I said, you've got the book, which is a classic novel that people have read. So it's got a little bit more history there than Blade Runner did. I mean, Blade Runner is based off of like series of short stories or a novel of some sort, but it wasn't like a very acclaimed novel. Nobody really read it. Nobody really knows what it is if you talk about it. So
exactly,
it's not the same as Dune. So I'm hoping that is a contributing factor to Dune's success, or I'm hoping it makes Dune successful. Just having that background there, or maybe a little bit more background.
Hopefully, I think that it will do. I think it'll do okay. I don't know how well it's going to do though if they release it this year, which will be kind of interesting to see.
People just need to get off their butts and watch good movies.
Yeah.
And don't settle for Transformers, you know.
Don't
settle
for
things
go
like
out and
that.
watch Dune and actually like learn and appreciate that like this is a really well done film. I mean, I've heard people like that are huge fans of like Blade Runner and the Blade Runner, like even like big fans, say that they didn't like Blade Runner 2049, which
is interesting because I like it better than the original. I'm a huge fan of the original.
I can understand if you're a purist and maybe you go, oh, it didn't really live up to the themes of the first movie or whatever. But I'm like, that sequel, like for people that are huge fans of Blade Runner, is like almost unattainable. And for people that aren't and are casual, like you have to draw in people that have never seen Blade Runner and are interested, and then people that like are diehard fans. Like I feel like with Dune, the only thing we have the books, which are phenomenal. And then you have
there was like a mini series and then a movie.
Yeah, there was the movie that was decent, and then like the sci-fi miniseries, which I heard was actually really good, but I haven't watched it.
No.
But like you could tell, I mean, the movie originally was like 3.5 hours long, and it got cut down to 1 hour and 20 minutes. So like,
man,
or whatever.
Oof,
it was like
dude.
Or whatever brutal. It was like super short comparatively to what was originally shot and stuff.
Right.
And like I was like learning a lot about like even there's like a documentary on this one guy who wanted to do a Dune movie.
Yes, that I've heard about that. It's the guy who was gonna make a Dune movie and then he never did.
Yeah. He never got to it, but like at one point they were talking about like a 10-hour long movie. Like
holy crap.
Yeah, like they were going for it because like I mean the themes of the movie and everything going on is like huge.
Yeah,
like,
it is. Yeah,
the movie spans like decades, or whatever. I mean, so
yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on.
And I mean, not only is there one book, but there's multiple sequels, which I don't know if anybody will ever adapt because they're not as popular as the original book. But still, I mean, it's got some following there, and people are excited about it. I think if you ask the majority, if they know about Dune, they're probably excited.
Yeah.
And also you've got Timothée Chalamet in there. and he is a big draw. He is a very big draw right now.
Yeah,
because he's a hot name. So that's and so is Zendaya. Zendaya is also
too,
another very
so
hot
hot
name
right now.
So
yeah, Zendaya is big right now. So
that's really good, and they're both very, very talented actors. So
yeah, I mean the cast in
draw.
Dune is incredible. They have so many great people that are really popular right now. So I think that'll help the movie quite a bit too.
Right.
So
yep, absolutely.
You'll get all the Chalamet lovers out there, all those girls that just want to watch Timothée Chalamet in a movie. I mean, hey, it's their money. That's all that matters.
I mean, have you guys seen The King yet? That he did the movie. The King is so freaking good. It's such a great movie.
The dude's an incredible. I mean, his face might annoy me just because it just does, but he's an incredible actor, and I won't discount that at all.
No, not at all. No, I'm pretty pumped. I think he'll kill it.
Well, he actually played pretty like masculine badass in The King, which I don't think kind of a side of him that we haven't really seen yet. Yeah, and I thought that was really good. So so it shows his range. He has a lot of range, and that'll benefit him quite a bit.
I know neither of you guys probably saw Little Women, but he was excellent in that movie.
I haven't.
Extremely well cast.
I want to see it because I've heard that
it's so
Greta Gerwig did a great job on it.
So good.
But
it's definitely worth watching. And Timothée Chalamet, if you want to see another really good performance from him, he's really good.
I've heard that it's good. So
so.
That's awesome.
Well, I think we are getting pretty close to the end of the show here. We had a lot of really good stuff to talk about. Is there any final things that you guys want to bring up before we wrap it up here?
Go out and see Dune when it comes out.
If you don't know about Dune, read about Dune.
Yeah, read about Dune. And even just go read a wiki about it, because the movie deserves people to go see it.
And I'll say this too: if you like Game of Thrones, Dune has a very similar story to Game of Thrones,
except for season 8.
Houses. Yeah, right. But we don't talk about that here.
It doesn't exist. It never happened.
It never happened.
It got canceled after season 7, and
it's a shame, but it is what it is. So
it was over. So if you like stories like that about warring houses, warring clans, etc., murder, assassinations, you name it, between rich people, giant sandworms, a spice that is basically a drug that turns people's eyes blue. Sounds crazy. Read about it.
Makes people psychic. Also gives you the ability to travel in space. Just go check out Dune. Go watch Dune. Listen, I don't agree with Ben on a lot of things, but I agree with Ben on this. So that tells you something right there.
Exactly.
Yep.
Anyway, with that being said, thank you so much for watching the show or listening to the show, whatever version you're experiencing here. Thank you so much, and thank you guys for doing it today with me. And we'll talk to you guys again next week. So have a great rest of your week, and we will talk to you all later. See ya.
Peace.